It's another Friday. It's hashtag YWPI. We talked to somebody about their road here to WPI. I'm here with Matt Adiletta, track and field standout. And Matt, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you, Rusty. How are you doing?
Great. I'm doing great. But what we really want to hear is the story about how you ended up at a WPI. Do you remember when you first heard about us?
Yeah, first heard about WPI when I was really young. My dad brought me on a tour around WPI when I was very little. We actually toured some of the ECE labs, who I later met as my academic advisor and MQP advisor. So it's kind of wild. I was like 10 years old when I first met my MQP advisor.
And you're local, right? You're from Bolton, correct?
Yep, Bolton,
So you had heard of WPI. What were your thoughts of it as a 10-year-old, and what were your thoughts of it when you started, to really look at it, I guess, when you were 16 and 17?
When I first showed up, I thought it was a huge campus. I was mind blown. The place looked just absolutely fantastic. And then as I grew up, I realized it was a nice tight-knit community, and it was a really great place to really foster community bonding. So.
And as you continued and started to look at the colleges, what got you interested in WPI?
Probably the fundamental reason is the project-based learning. When I was in high school, I did a lot of project-based work and competing in science fairs and doing other research investigations. And so when I came to WPI, or when I was looking at WPI, seeing the just sheer number of project-based learning that we're doing here really got me excited. And that's the fundamental reason why I wanted to come to WPI, just to really get hands-on, get some project experience, and know that it's going to be a really great breadth of work that I'm going to do over the next 4 years. So
let's cheat and let's jump ahead real quickly. What did you end up doing junior year for your IQP?
Junior year, I went to Venice, and I have the flag up right back there. That's Perfect. The Venice flag. So I studied bell towers, where I went to different bell towers across Venice, and I documented their condition and recorded them onto a website. And
so even as you were a high school senior and I told you that's what you were going to do, you'd be shocked. You knew you wanted to do it, but your specific location and type of project you developed right before you went away. Is that somewhat accurate?
That's true. But what was funny is when I was going on tours for WPI, one of the interview, or like one of the videos they played was IQP videos, and it was like about the Venice Project Center. And I was like, oh, it'd be so cool if I could go to Venice during my time. And so lo and behold, I got into the Venice IQP Center, and I was like, wow, full circle here. But
home run, huh?
Yeah.
And then can we cheat? You're a senior. What are we doing for IQP?
For MQP, you mean?
Oh, sorry, MQP, correct. Yeah. Sorry.
For MQP, I did a combined research project with WPI and Intel Corporation, where I looked at some very complex research involving integral parts to the CPU, which is in your computer. So very, very in-depth research project, a lot of very fun things. I'm actually applying for PhD schools next year, and I think WPI has really prepared me incredibly well for all of my PhD applications, and being able to talk to professors about my research, and just giving me a breadth of things that I can talk about to pretty much anyone, whether it's a recruiter at a corporation, or if it's a professor at a different university.
Fantastic. Anything else you remember about your tour other than you knew what your future IQP site was going to be?
Well, other parts of my tour, I remember walking around, and I went into the rec center. And as I walked into the rec center, I met this guy, Brian Demore. He was, at the time, I had no idea who he was, but he was at the time track sprints captain, leader person of the sprint squad. And I just kind of bumped into him. I was like, yeah, I'm interested in running track. And he was like, oh, no way, I run track. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. And he actually brought me down to go talk to some of the coaches, just to go meet them. And that was the first time I met my two coaches, which was kind of crazy.
So there are signs all over the place screaming for you to come to WPI this time.
Screaming for me to come to WPI.
So so you didn't go through the typical recruiting process. Explain how you took those contacts with the coaches and then ended up on the team.
Yeah, so basically I'd already accepted to WPI before I really met any of the coaches or anything of any of the track process. But when I like met Miles for the first time, I was basically like, Miles, I don't know if I really want to do this, but I'd love to be able to contribute if I can. Like this is going to be a great opportunity if I can try and make it on the team. And I mean, I'm a walk-on basically, and I want to really build up my strength and see if I can help you on your team. And he accepted me onto the team, which was really great news. And ever since then, my desire to just be on this team and actually contribute has just been growing and growing. And it's senior year now. So I'm really hoping that this spring I'll be able to do some damage, break some school records, and get some things going.
We hope you have that opportunity too. Do you have any advice for anybody who isn't sure if they want to get involved in athletics? I mean, it obviously worked out for you. It may not work out for everybody, but what do you think the keys were for you to making it work?
Well, if you want to be on an athletic team, I think, especially when it comes to sprinting, like if you have the motivation, you can do it. It's like if you have the desire and the motivation to become successful, you're gonna have the coaching staff, you're gonna have the equipment necessary to become successful, and that's really big for WPI. Being able to take an amateur and just take them to the next level and make them great, and with some motivation as the key ingredient.
So as much as during the recruiting process, everything became obvious to you, where you're going to go to IQP, meeting the sprints captain, give me something here 3.5 years in that you've experienced during your time that you didn't think of when you decided you were going to come here.
That I didn't think of when I decided to come here. Let's see, coronavirus. That would probably be the biggest one.
Well, I mean, that could be something, how the university and yourselves and the students just had to adjust on the fly.
And the thing is, like, we have it incredibly great at WPI. We're able to be on campus. We're able to run to a degree. We're able to lift to a degree. We're able to do things to a degree. A lot of other schools just kind of are shut down and not really well controlled in terms of how they're handling coronavirus. But WPI and like Lori Leshin has really been a great way for us to communicate and like learn more about how we're going to handle it and as a community. And I think we've done a really great job. So that's another great reason for why WPI.
Matt, thank you very much for taking the time to share your story. #why WPI. We're glad that you saw that sign about where an opportunity for your IQP project, and we're also very happy that you bumped into Brian at that point. So thanks for sharing that story, and our fingers are crossed that we'll have a significant spring season for you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.